It's very well known here in northeast Thailand that people eat insects. It's part of their normal diet. And even though we're standing along the side of the fish pond, behind me, suspended from the branches there, is a wasp nest. It's right behind me. It's actually really big and the wasps are flying in and out of it. I don't want to get too close because they'll go ballistic. So basically how that wasp nest got there, they'll set out a piece of fish, like a piece of raw fish, and they'll hang some light feathers to it. They'll wait for the wasp to smell the fish, fly down, grab it, fly back off into the forest, back to the nest. They'll follow those feathers, the visual cue, back through the forest, and it'll lead them right to the nest. They'll remember where that nest is, and they'll come back at the nighttime when the wasps are sleeping, and they will actually cut the branch down and as gently as possible retrieve that nest without disturbing it. And they're just basically relocating it. So that wasp nest there was about this size when they finally took it from the forest. They put it here, and the wasps have just been working and developing that nest, and now it's big and it's ready to harvest. So tonight we're going to come back in the dark and we're going to actually harvest it. It involves fire and smoke and a few things that I don't really understand, but we'll get a good understanding of that this evening, and we'll be eating some of the wasp larvae prepared various ways over the next couple of days. So I just want to give you guys a bit of that. All right, let's get out of here before those wasps get pissed off. All right, so it's nighttime. We're back at the wasp nest. This is our expert. He's going to be doing most of the work. This is all for the fire, apparently. He's already inspected the nest. There's 3 holes, which means it's going to be a little bit challenging because we got to get all the holes blocked. The lights have to go dim because once the fire starts, those wasps will come out and they'll come to anything that's bright, so we can't have any lights. We're going to film anyway, and then once it's safe, we'll flip the lights back on and we'll show you everything else that's going on. All right, so here we go. Let's do this. Okay. So this is the wasp larva. These are the ones that we actually eat. It's actually really good. I've had it before. It's very fresh and a little bit warm from the fire. But It'll be prepared a little bit different style. Some onions, maybe mixed with eggs, chicken eggs. So anyway, that was it. Pretty exciting stuff. We got attacked by a couple, but we didn't get stung. This gentleman did get stung when he let out the yell in pain. So it's a big wasp. I mean, they're about this big. Stings hurt. So anyway, that's it.
Nè vươn nè, vươn nè.
He shows got stung. Look at his stung.
สองแม่ ยังปั้นไหมเอาไปเลย
So here's a typical breakfast in this area. This sticky rice, typically you just ball it up into a little ball here, and here's the wasp larva from last night, scrambled up with some eggs, regular chicken eggs, and some onions and stuff in there. It's really good, and it's probably unbelievably nutritious, but it's good stuff. All right, so we're going to give another night a go here. It's not quite dark yet, so we're getting a little bit of an earlier start compared to usual. And the other thing that's a little bit different is the land here behind us is actually our land. We bought this parcel of land last year, so we're actually going to go looking for critters on our land, which is kind of cool. So let's go do this. One feature of these tropical areas are these Nephila spiders. This trail, this is about the third one that I've seen. These are big ones. I mean, that's my hand for comparison. That is a big spider. These guys are definitely capable of eating small birds. This is a huge web. Definitely have to pay attention when you're going down these trails. I don't want to walk into one of them. Pretty crazy. So we found a tokay gecko. Kind of interesting because this tokay gecko is 100% in the wild, in nature. A lot of times we find the tokay geckos around houses. They live underneath the elevated houses and that. There's a tokay gecko right here living on this tree. Really beautiful one too. So we popped through that parcel of land that we checked out. There's really no trail in there. Here we have a little bit of a trail, and as you can tell, this isn't really jungle. This is more of a forest. Although it is somewhat warm and humid, it's just not the same as an actual jungle. We'll be getting into that a little bit later, but for right now, we're gonna check this out. We're winding down our time, so hopefully we'll be able to score a few more species. We have a banded crate right here in this little gully. Trying to see what it's doing. I think he's just sticking his head down into the mud there. Let me try to get this guy out. So that's a banded crate. It's a venomous snake. Beautiful snake. They get about double this size. This one actually is not a real large one. And they inhabit these rice farm areas. They spend a good amount of their time in the water hunting. During the daytime they're pretty placid, but at night they can be very rambunctious, bit of a handful to mess with. But really cool. We're It's a full moon tonight, and we have not been finding too many animals, and we had just decided to turn around and go back and call it a night. We found this guy rooting around in the grass. Pretty lucky. So the locals believe that when you encounter these in the wild at nighttime, of course, they will follow your light home. So they have a little saying that if you say John, 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 that means thief. And for some reason, these snakes don't like to be called that in Thai, and they'll go away the other direction. So a little bit of folklore story that I'm trying to ask and figure out what words I can say in Thai to bring the snakes to me. Nobody seems to understand that. Here we're on our way back after catching that crate. There's a flying snake right here. Looks like it's going into this wood here. Oh, there he is. He thinks my finger is a gecko. I think he had his head out the side of here. Oh, here we go. Oh, there we go. Now these are diurnal snakes. These are active during the daytime. Kind of surprised to see him. He looked like he was actively hunting. But that's really cool too. Another really lucky find. So look how beautiful this snake is. The pattern is just so intricate. I love the head pattern. It's really nice. Broken up pattern there. This is a beautiful snake. These snakes actually will spend a lot of their time up high in the treetops, and because they have the ability to glide, they can flatten out this rib cage here. They flatten out really super well, and they can get some forward gliding motion by doing some S patterns in the air. But what a beautiful snake. Really, really pretty. Again, it's also a rear fang snake, so I don't really want to get bit and chewed on, but it's not dangerous to humans. So pretty. All right, cool. That's a flying snake. So we just came across this. This wasn't something that I fed myself. That noise that the frog is making in distress is something that we always key up into when we're going through any of these areas. If we hear that noise, and oftentimes the bigger the frog, the louder the scream, we run as fast as we can to track it down. A lot of times these snakes will swallow these frogs down in a matter of maybe 30, 45 seconds or a minute or so. So sometimes we'll hear that in the distance and we'll run towards the sound, and a lot of times it'll yield a snake find. So this is just sort of an example of that sound that we key up into when we're out here. Banded crate right here. So here it is. This is the incidental catches that these nets get. Now this one's a lot bigger than the last one. Really good size. Look at that, and nice color too. Really beautiful. We were on that other trail and we got a call on the cell phone by these guys. They said they had a crate here in the net, so we hustled down this dirt road and we got this one here. It's really big and robust, really pretty snake. My biggest fear is that if we didn't get here fast enough that they would kill it. So we definitely succeeded in that. This one's really fat. All right, cool. Second crate of the night. I had just sort of deemed the night to be not so good because of the full moon and all, and then right all of a sudden, as soon as I made that statement, 3 snakes right away. So I guess you just never know out here. That's gonna do it. Our time is up here in the northeast on the rice farm. We're gonna be heading down to the south to the lush jungles. So long. See you later. Time to move on.